Hello again, and welcome back to my channel. This is your host, Passport Nomad, and today I'm just going to talk about why I like to travel. And I know I talked about a little bit of it in my last video that I put up, but I want to get more into detail on exactly the reasons why I chose this type of life. I would have to take it back to the days as a child, and my first influence was a movie called Indiana Jones. Just growing up as a kid, watching this guy travel from country to country, hunting down artifacts, meeting different people, speaking different languages, saving different women and everything. It was just so adventurous and everything, but it really intrigued me. Something about it, just the thought of being able to go anywhere in the world I wanted to and just see new things and experience new languages, just new things in general, and get away from everything I know. That was the first time, without all the action adventure and the killing and all that stuff, the danger. And yes, I am afraid of snakes too. But yes, I hate snakes. I admit that. But that really turned me on to the life of wanting to just get out and explore, just to see what this world that we live in is all about. Now, I know in reality, as all this is going on, I'm just a kid. I always felt this had a very big part to play with my adventurous side as I was swinging from trees and playing with my cousins in the backyard of my house. But as time goes on, we all are faced with the reality of where we're from, where we live, and how we grew up, and the conditions of how we're from affect our lives. And I grew up in a very rough neighborhood, a place where not many people I grew up with actually ever make it out. It was more like a place that everybody goes nowhere, they just stay there. And as I got older, the more I wanted the goal of wanting to get out and wanted to see the world. I wanted to travel, I wanted to do things, but I wasn't quite certain how. So I did as any other youth would do. I'd go to school, do all my homework, pass all my grades and graduate high school. I even attended college for some time, but then just found out that it just wasn't for me, being that the kind of study I was into and the job I wanted was nowhere located near to where I lived, and there were no opportunities in that area or anywhere close. So there I was, still in the city that I was born and raised in, and I thought, why not join the military? After all, I have had male family members in my family that served before me, and they always had very interesting stories about their travels and adventures in the military. And I said, you know what, this is close to what I want. So let's see if I can make something out of it. So with that said, I enlisted into the U.S. Army, and I don't regret it. To this day, I feel as though it was the best thing I could have done for myself at that time. My first duty station was in Germany, and I fell completely in love with the country and the people, and the beer, and the festivals, and all the friends that I was making along the way. This, after all, was my very first traveling experience, and living abroad. I felt good. And then 9/11 happened, and for the first time I got to experience life in the worst of moments, and it changed me in such a way, just being a veteran and experiencing war. I couldn't even begin to put into words the atrocities that I've seen or witnessed while I was in uniform, but I can tell you this. There is no such thing as a good war. And for that, I decided once I got out the military, I would find another way to travel around the world and actually help people. I was then able to land a sweet job as a government contractor with a nice billion-dollar corporation, which from time to time gave me the opportunity to travel the world. I was able to travel, live, and work in places like Dubai and the United Arab Emirates. Kuwait was another location. A vacation to Rotan Island, Honduras. Spent some time in the Dominican Republic. That was very nice. A favorite spot of mine's in the Philippines, Cebu. Really good fun times in Pattaya, Thailand. A wonderful time in Kiev, Ukraine. Spent time in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. I even had a good time in the UAE again in Abu Dhabi. However, those were my years as a contractor, and soon after 2010, all things had to come to an end eventually. And so once again, I found myself back home in the city and town I grew up in. And if you have traveled the world as much as I have, you would come home and feel something like this. The times have definitely changed, but the people haven't. The place has not changed. Nothing, in fact, has changed. Nothing except for me. Now, of course, I've missed friends and family I haven't seen in a long time, but after a while of being here, I find that I'm just not happy. I even find myself talking to my friends, and it feels as though they just don't understand where I'm coming from. They can't conceive what I've been through or what I've experienced, so it's difficult for them to understand why I would want to leave. But at the end of the day, I've discovered that it's not really up to their happiness or making them happy. It's about making me happy. Plus, at the rate the economy is going, the price of things going higher and higher, the politics, the confusion, the drama, the mayhem, the crime, everything else all added together, it just pushes me away from the idea of staying here. So I'm finally fed up, and I just said, today I'm going to sell my car, move out of my apartment, and I'm going to buy a plane ticket. After all, I still do have my passport. And plus, being a disabled veteran, I do receive my monthly income, so I should be able to sustain a good living overseas. My destination of choice is Manila in the Philippines. Big old city, lots to do, big on tourism, very cheap to stay at, low cost of living, and a lot of fellow veterans. A lot of people retire here. It's a vacation spot, and it's overall a beautiful location. A very peaceful place to make a living. Plus, the American dollar goes very far here. At about 56 of their pesos equaling $1, you can figure out that it's a very affordable place to relax and enjoy your life. Plus, on a planned budget, I'm actually saving more money than I could spend here. So it works out for me in the long run. Also, the people are very beautiful, warm, and friendly, very inviting to all foreigners, especially those from the U.S. This is also one of my favorite spots to travel to because it's one of the places that I've made many friends at, very good friends, who have welcomed me to come visit. And with that said, I am packing my bags, and I am in countdown mode as I get ready to take my flight on to the Philippines. So this brings us to the end of our video. If you liked what you've seen, please hit subscribe and support my channel. And thank you for watching. Until next time, I'll be in Manila doing my next video, showing all the sights that I can show you and learning what I've learned. Until then, thank you and have a great day. And happy travels.